I change my oil every 5,000 miles. And it always seems like when I go to loosen the oil filler cap on my car, it's always very, very snug, very tight. And so what do? I ended up getting a pair of arc joint pliers to get some leverage on it to take it off. And I just came up with a really simple thing. Rather than using those pliers, which could cut into the cap, I came up with something extremely simple using a couple bolts and some aluminum flat stock. So all you've got to do is, here's that simple tool you made. I just hold it like this, put it on top, now to put the filler cap back on, I'm not going to use the tool. I'm just going to simply seat it, snug it up, and that's it. Now to make this, you'll need to pick up some aluminum flat stock that you can get at any big box place like Lowe's, Home Depot, and such. And it's got to be 1/4 inch thick by 1 inch wide. Now you're going to need 2 aluminum spacers, which is a number 10, which is the inside diameter, or a 3/16 by 5/16, which is the outside diameter, and 3/4 inches long. And you can get these anywhere, and they look like this. And this is what you'll use to space the 2 pieces of aluminum apart with. Now to hold these together, I've got 2 10/24 by 1.5 inch long button socket cap stainless steel bolts. Okay, because it's nice and small, smooth. And then you're going to need 2 10/24, which again 10/24 is 3/16 diameter acorn nuts. And then I also, since I needed to get a little more tightness on it, I've got 2 3/16 washers, just to make sure that tightened down good enough, just to give it a little extra spacing there underneath the acorn nut. Now you'll see the cap, I went with 3/4 inch. Now I may have been able to go with a 1/2 inch, but I decided to go just a little wider. It's not going to hurt anything. But you have to, whatever your cap might be, that width down at the bottom, because mine tapers. So you could go with 1/2 inch if you want it. And then it's just a matter of how you want to space it, how long. That's just something that you'll take a look at your cap and determine what the dimensions are. Now, as I was beginning to see how I wanted to do this, there was various ways. I could have cut this off shorter, so the same distance from here to here is here to here, and then just used it like this without this outrigger. And as I thought I'd try, the long one is 8 inches long, the short one is 5. I can always take off, but I can't add on. So my thought was just to grip it kind of like this. See? So I thought, well, let me try that. If I don't like it, I can always take and cut more off. And so, as I'm using this, I kind of like that. But again, should it dictate, I can always take a little more off. But for now, I like this. I may go with 1/2 inch long spacers down the road. Now, as to the spacing of these holes, it's not rocket science. I just kind of put the cap over it, kind of looked at it, and said, here's where I'm going to put them in. And now, once I located these, then I put these both together in my vise in the drill press. And I drilled these tight together, drilled them through 1/8 inch first, then a 3/16, and I did them both, like I said, together. That way there was no shifting or nothing as I went down through each one. And I decided to keep, for purposes of orientation, I decided to leave the printing on the inside. So once I drilled through here, I could take it off, deburr it, like I did. When I put it back together, I knew that as long as the two printed sides went together, it was the way they were drilled. So it's not that complicated. Now again, I thought about, do I want to round this? And all I did was just deburr it with a file. And I could have put it on my belt sander and rounded these corners, but I didn't see a need for it. I think it's going to be fine just like it is.